Hiya, welcome back to the Stanley parable, and for joining me for a cup of tea. So last part we had a confusing ending, the confusing ending, so today we're going for the not so confusing ending, hopefully. Because I ended up in the same room I did before, because apparently this goes on and on and on, and you have different endings. And last time I pushed the on button because I thought I'd have to, but apparently I didn't have to.
When at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
I thought I really had to push the on button. I probably have to... Okay, this is new.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber,
why is there a
he
weird
realized
door?
none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
And died. Beat the game. Okay, so I did. And I'm back. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
What
decided to
shall
go
we
to the
do
meeting
this
room.
time?
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I didn't make a list yet. Where I should and where I shouldn't go. Waiting input. Press a button. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I whoops. Oh. I made an input. Can I do more? Please. Please. I'm desperate. I can't. How should I live my life like this? And how did he get up here? Woohoo!
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
No? Didn't? Why not? Why not? I just want to touch it. I want to touch everything. Yep.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yes.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I did this already, so... But
in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
He did say something different, so I changed something.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either.
Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no expectation of promotion
he might find an answer there.
or recognition. Oops. I want to go into the broom closet again. Whoops.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Why is there a nuclear sign on that tape?
It was baffling
cable?
that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As
Can I
it
have
is,
something?
He's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
FA? Like forever alone, or does he mean something else?
Still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why?
Yes.
Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I like to confuse the game. Okay.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right?
Let's
If
see
I'd
how
said, Stanley
long it goes
walked
on.
past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Do you see how the texture there is thumping?
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Well, the broom closet ending was my favorite.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
I'm not. I'm seriously not.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
So, yeah. Breaking the fourth wall. Does he say more, or do I have to restart, or do I go out? I don't want to go out. Maybe I'm missing something. Ah! I think he won't say anything anymore.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
I go back.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky.
I've got a
I'll
tentacle
just be
with
waiting for
arms.
when you're ready to pick up the story again.
I have no monkeys, sorry. Go back. Go back. Yeah. What does he
Coming
say?
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, let's go down this time. Fine. You know, this word means pants or trousers in German. Hose. So this is a fire pants. Not a hood. You know, fire pants. I want to have fire pants.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he being so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, The truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
Very
Stanley
logical.
is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
I want a blanket.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream.
No.
I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my
Stanley
life
didn't have a
exactly
wife.
the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
And he's still there.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
It's creepy!
And
Stop
everything
it!
went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Dead!
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like.
Yeah.
And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body.
This was
And then
more
she
than a
turned
moment.
and ran.
Okay, so I'm back. Shall we try another ending? I can't get through the door.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Wait, this is still different. He said something different.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, no way back. Woo, 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 woo.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I want to go in there. The white door doesn't really fit into the design of this room.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. So here we are.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Let's go this way.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yes! Oh no.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Oh my god. I'm scared. Shall I jump? I jump. I want to close my eyes. Can't I walk? No. Okay, let's just jump. I died. Yay. Oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss.
Why would they have a machine like this?
So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
I don't want to die.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What? What?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Totally awesome! But... oh my god. I love this game. Damn it, I turned it off. Employee database. I can't read it. Turn it off. Oh, it turns on its own again. The office. Button sounds. Oh my goodness. Oh. High rise, Zodeberg. Dean Darko. Okay. Let's go on. This looks like a museum. That's so nice. So nice. Oh. An early version of the maintenance room. Okay. This is so cool. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to lose. Okay. Larger. This text, if someone could just get rid of the text, maybe then I could see what the game is about. Words. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to win? These are screenshots of it. Okay. Am I going crazy? Maybe it isn't the same image. Was that clock there before? I don't remember. How do I go back? Can you check for me? More endings, fewer endings, more narrators. Fewer narrators. More Stanley, less Stanley. Okay. Can I? I should. Oh. Warzone? Okay. How do I get there? Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. What? The action game would become sentient? And would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as a making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Okay. Dear narrator, I appreciate the previous Stanley game as a work of art and a standalone title. What? Go back. What do the lights in the control room do? I really want to know. I have a question for you, sir, and it is, what is your message for today? Sent from iPad. Will the game feature capybaras? Okay. 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 The apartment timer. What? In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. So now it isn't there anymore? The cargo lift. Okay. To offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. Okay. Now slowly I'm getting lost. I'm totally lost. A part of the sending? The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color lever they had pulled. What? This screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Okay, so... Oh. We ran 4 major teaser trailers over the course of the game's development, each meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. Oh. I like museums where you watch a movie, but no sound is boring. And it's creepy. Come. We have no time to lose. The game is now paused. Begin the game again, resume the game, options. Oh, wait. Okay. Whoop. I'm lost. I'm not sure if it's my sense of direction that is at fault for me getting lost, or...
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good or bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here,
Oh my goodness. Please, I just want to know where to go. This part is getting too long. But I don't know. Wait, this is the first room? Why was this even here before? I'm so disoriented. I know this says exit, but I didn't see everything yet. There's a hamburger on the table. No, it's a cup. Sorry. I think I saw everything, and even if I didn't, I don't know where to go, so I just exit. Oops.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Who both? I don't understand. I just pull it and it restarts.
Can you see?
No,
Can
it
you
doesn't.
see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not.
I don't need
Sometimes
the
these
narrator.
things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save
What?
these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now, and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
I'm dead. And my phone is talking to me. What now? Did I break the game? I think I might have broken the game. I don't know. I think I need to restart. Sorry for making this longer than it would have needed to be, but this museum was kind of unexpected. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next part when I'll have a list of the things I did, because I might have a problem now without a list. So goodbye.